Hey everybody, um, thought I'd make a follow-up video uh, to my whole ICD experience. I had my first shock um, last weekend, about 8 days ago. So it's been 4 months since I had my ICD implanted, and everything's been going pretty well. So I had a routine follow-up on April 30th, which was about 3 weeks ago. Device clinic, they call it a device clinic. You go in and they link up to your device via radio and pull the information off of it, share it with the doctor, see what your heart's been doing. And they had a doctor's appointment. So anyway, they discovered during my device clinic that I had some signs of atrial fibrillation, I guess. I don't know. A couple of episodes they called it where the atrium of the heart went into fibrillation and then it spontaneously corrected itself. So anyway, the doctor didn't seem real concerned. He did put me on Xarelto, which is a blood thinner, because he said with atrial fibrillation, I guess your chances of stroke are increased. And he also doubled my dose of carvedilol, which is one of the heart failure medicines that I take. Anyway, long story short, I had a couple of I've had some I've experienced lightheadedness through this whole ordeal with ever since I got diagnosed with heart failure. I think it's from the medications. Not bad, but it seemed like ever since he doubled that dose of carvedilol, I had a couple of pretty good episodes where I really got lightheaded. Anyway, last Saturday morning, I got up, I slept till about 8 o'clock, and I was sitting on the crapper. Killing time. I had done my business, and I was going through my cell phone, deleting pictures, and all of a sudden, I got really super lightheaded. I mean, big time. And the next thing I knew, man, it was like lights out and wham, and I thought, I'm like, fuck. The next thing I knew, I was looking at the base of the toilet. I was completely folded in half. I was still sitting on the toilet. And I thought, what the fuck? Did I touch a fucking outlet or the light switch or something? Because I knew I had gotten shocked. I've gotten shocked before. So I'm no stranger to that. And then my wife came to the doorway because she heard the commotion. I guess I must have banged the toilet tank. And she asked me if I was all right. And then I felt fine, but I realized I got fucking whacked from the device. So, I really blacked out. And I was kind of freaked, and my daughter was home for the weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend. So they both, hey, you need to call the doctor, Well, I looked through all the paperwork and shit that I had, since the implant to see, hey, what do you do if you got a shock? And it said, basically all I could find is it said, if you get 2 or more in 24 hours, call the doctor. So I didn't call the doctor. It was a weekend. Monday, I went back to work. I felt fine. I didn't have any more episodes. Some lightheadedness every now and again. But Monday, I thought about calling the doc. I had an appointment for early June. So I thought, well, shit, I could wait. But my daughter kept texting me, did you call the doctor? What did they say? So finally I thought, well, maybe I better call the doctor to let him know. And before I was just getting ready to call the doctor, I got a call from the hospital. It was the device clinic. It was a gal. She said, Daniel, is this, she said, this is the device clinic at Rockford. did you know that you got shocked Saturday morning? And I said, I told her that yeah, I knew I did. And so she asked me a little bit about, had I taken my medicine, anything unusual leading up to it. So she told me she was going to get a hold of my doctor and let him know, give him all the information. So my home monitoring device basically linked up, and it sent the information to the hospital. I have a home monitoring device, and when you have an unusual event like that, it dials out. So it did its job. Everything worked the way it was supposed to. I have a St. Jude device, and their home monitoring is called Merlin. It's this little base station thing that sits on your nightstand, and it phones in if something goes awry. I think it does a monthly phone in just as a matter of course. But then, if there's an issue with your implant, your device, or if you have an episode, it sends the information out. So anyway, it all worked. It all worked. Anyway, I didn't talk to my doctor, but the gal called me back after she talked to my doctor, and he pushed my appointment up. So the long and the short of it is I've got an appointment Monday, tomorrow. So I'll have a follow-up video to this one. But I just wanted to kind of, so I got the shock, my first shock. What was it like? I heard a lot of stuff I read on the internet. It's like, even my cardiologist, well, it's like getting kicked in the chest by a horse. Well, it really wasn't as bad as in a way, I've got mixed emotions. I'm kind of glad I got it because now I know what it's like. Now, yeah, I was half passed out. So I mean, maybe if I would have been full consciousness and got that, it probably would have been worse. But it really wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been. It was, I've gotten 110, I've gotten more than that, 277 volts, and it was just kind of like a whack. And I'm glad I got it. So, I mean, obviously something happened. I went into some kind of fibrillation, and the thing did what it was supposed to do, and it corrected that. So, but again, I'll have an update after tomorrow when the doctor tells me what really happened and what I can expect going forward. So, yeah, my first shock and happened on the shitter. So, kind of bizarre. Anyway, follow up tomorrow. Take care.